I don't like using other people's structure. Like you tell me, hey, if I ask you, how did you set up the automations for, your Instagram profile, You're like, oh yeah, I use make.com and I'm gonna look at it and I'm like, I'll use it for right now, but like, I'm pretty sure I can build that.
This is the CLIMACO podcast.
Welcome to another episode of the CLIMACO podcast. Today's guest is a trader, developer. His name is really fucking cool. Dallion King, also known as the Lion King. I love that you told me that. It's dope. What's up, bro? Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate y'all.
Pleasure having you, bro. I like to start from the beginning. Tell me where you're from, where'd you grow up, what was your upbringing like?
As you guys know, name is Dallion King. I'm originally from New York. I'm 29 years old.
Where in New York?
Harlem.
Okay.
Harlem, New York.
I'm from Queens.
Okay, where? You know what I'm saying? So like I grew up, New York, Jersey, moved to Cali. Cali, went back to New York, then back to Cali. Then I came to Miami.
That's cool.
Yeah, so my family is in the music business mostly. If you're from Queens, are you familiar with hip hop?
Of course.
So KRS-One's my godfather.
Really?
Mad Lion's my dad, hence the name, the Lion King.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I grew up.
So you grew up around royalty.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. I grew up with all like
That's
legends.
incredible.
And then
So you've gone to so many concerts.
yeah, I was now that like my dad tells me stories, he was like, you were there. I was like, I was? He was like, yeah. You were there. So I was like, oh.
You may not remember,
Yeah.
but you
I was
were
really
there.
young, like 5, 6,
Yeah,
8.
yeah.
But yeah, I was there. And it's actually cool when I look back at it because like when I hear documentaries, like certain, I was like, oh, I was there.
I remember that.
Yeah. So, and then, yeah, I'm an athlete first. I played basketball and took myself to becoming pro. Played in the Dominican Republic, played in other countries as well, but Dominican Republic is my main place. Known for
Shooting
street
guard?
ball. Point guard.
Point guard.
Yeah. Depending on the team. I'm a natural scorer, but most of the time I'm point guard. I did content for a while around basketball, created for Kobe, created for Mama Sports Academy when he was alive. Played with some of my...
Hold up. Don't just slide over that.
Yeah.
You did content for Kobe.
Yeah.
How did that come to be? That's incredible.
Yeah, so when I moved to California, I was around like 21, 22. Venice Ball is a thing. So I actually made a brand playing at Venice Ball, and my name was Mr. Moves. And that's how I got in with like the professor and like Bone Collector from the end one day. So they were like my mentors. So
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then during
So you
that
can
time,
ball.
I'm all right. To this day, I'm okay. Old man knees now. But and then I just started creating content. And at that time, that's when like the whole Baller's Life and all that started popping off. So like I like to classify it like there's like a draft class. And that was part of like the original newcomer draft class. It was me, White Iverson, and the Hezzy God. Yeah. And now they're still doing their thing, but I went the pro route. So when I started training regularly, this is when Kobe bought Mama Sports Academy. It was Sports Academy first. And then when I first signed up to the gym, it was still Sports Academy. But because I was creating vlogs and stuff already for the company, he had to sit down with me. It was like, do some vlogs for us as Mamba. And I was like their first creator for that gym.
Wow. What a great story.
Yeah.
You had to sit down with Kobe.
And I played him once too. You know what I mean? But
how was that?
It was fantastic for the little child in me. Right. Horrible for my basketball ego. Wild. It was like he let me score like I think it was like 4 or 6 points.
He let you score.
Oh, of course. I think I had one that I earned. There was 1 or 2 that I earned. The rest of it was like he was just teaching me something. We were doing it's in the vlog. I was doing the basically the Kobe fadeaway. Drop, spin, fadeaway. Yeah. And he was in the gym that day. It just so happened. It was the day of the T-Mac interview that he did. And he took some time and was teaching it to me, but then it's Kobe. It turned into a whole one-on-one. So like it turned like we didn't say anything. I was just going with
just
it.
began.
It just began, and yeah, that was the quickest loss I've ever taken in my life. But
and the best.
yeah, and the best, yeah, 100%. And then yeah, COVID happened. I was playing in DR. They shipped me back home, and it was the day of my national team tryout for the Dominican Republic. And then COVID was announced. I had to come back home. Got into day trading. Day trading turned into algorithmic trading. Algorithmic trading turned into everything else I do now.
How did it turn it into day trading? Did someone present it to you? Did you see something that made you
I
interested?
just saw it. Somebody I was following at the time. You know, during the time it was like the whole multi-level marketing thing, and that's how everyone got introduced to it.
Right.
And I got in, but ever since young, I've always been like a nerd. Like I've always been like a tech nerd.
Same.
So as I was learning how to trade, I will research how to trade instead of trying to bring people in. At this point, I already have a brand. I already have
right.
I was making money a month by having people signed up. But I was like, I'm trying to learn how to actually trade. And it didn't take long for me to figure out that this was just a multi-level marketing thing. I didn't know any better at the time. So as I was teaching myself how to trade, I came across somebody that trades, and he just happens to use bots and indicators. So when I was being taught, my first, through the door was algorithmic trading. I didn't go through the whole manual route first. I went through the bot route, and I've always been coding and stuff. So from there, I just saw how he monetized it, and I was like, I could do that. So I did it. And then eventually those same people that signed up ended up signing up to my mentorship Signals chat, and then I got banned from all the MLMs that we went to because of that problem. And then those same MLMs now license my systems.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know traditional trading. Break down for me what is algorithmic trading. What is bot trading?
Well, I mean, it's the same as traditional trading. I mean, there is different ways to do it, but mine will be considered automated traditional trading. So it's like if you have a regular strategy that you came up with that you can execute manually.
Right.
One of my slogans is I clone traders. So I will code you into a bot, because the main thing about the industry that people don't seem to understand is they're only upset about the losses that happen because they don't understand why it took the loss, and they can barely understand why it wins. Right? So that's why you don't get the good reviews and why it wins. You always get the bad reviews when it loses. But if you know that it followed everything that you would do, and you understand that sometimes your strategy takes losses,
right?
All I'm doing is selling convenience.
Got it.
That's it. I'm not selling you something brand new. I'm not saying that this is the holy grail strategy. It does this. I can promise you returns. How many returns did you promise yourself?
Got it.
And then I'll just automate that for you. And then...
How do you do that? How do you automate it?
I mean, a lot of stuff is... what do you mean by platform or...
Meaning like, do you sit down with this person, figure out their strategy, what they do?
So basically I have like a whole 1 hour session with you, however long it takes. And then I tell you to record your process of finding trades, multiple different pairs or whatever, and send it to me. And then we'll do a one-on-one call. I iron out, I take the notes. A lot of it's X's and O's, bro.
Yeah.
You'll be surprised that everyone's trading the same thing.
The same way?
Different ways.
Oh, different ways. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? They're just adding this to this and that.
Right.
It's the same thing, right? Everyone's taking the same entry. There's only 3 ways the market can go: up, down, sideways. So it's really one of those, you rarely find a trader that's so unique, right? I can be considered one of those only because even when I trade manually, I use a different chart format than most people. I use Renko bricks. You know what I mean? So people use candlestick charts. There's some people that use Hakanashi. There's some people that only trade candlesticks with, price action and ICT concepts, which are all the same concepts. So, it's not as difficult now because everyone is just...
What's the best way to find your way?
You have to expose yourself to the chart. You don't know... Listen, you don't know. I didn't learn how to swim until my uncle pushed me into the deep end of the water and just said,
figure it out.
You're either going to die. and you are not because I'm here, but figure it out, right? But you have to expose yourself to it, and it takes with chart time, because it's like I can literally teach you 100% winning strategy, but it makes no use to you if you haven't if you can't identify it yourself. It doesn't help you,
Right.
right? And it all comes back to
Dependent
me.
on you.
Yeah, because it's like you have to train your eye to see it. There's some, like even my students, they taught me stuff because my eye hasn't been trained to see the things that they can see on the chart. So it's to the person. It's to
Right.
what you can look at the chart and be like, oh, I see that happen every day. I see that happen every day. I see that happen every day, right? Versus me teaching you things that I see happen every day. You're not going to be able to spot it if it doesn't come naturally. Sometimes just exposing yourself to it, you just find your own patterns.
Right.
In the markets, whatever you're trading in, it's time-based. It's based on what you can recognize and how many times you recognize it. Then that builds, comfortability, confidence into executing and managing and all that other stuff. So
What do you trade?
I trade particularly NASDAQ futures. Right, that's the only thing I traded for the past 5 years. But
Why?
I can trade pretty much anything in terms of like my algos working on different market conditions and stuff. But personally, I only trade NQ.
Why?
I just came in that way. I didn't.
You're comfortable with it?
Yeah, like I use algos, but I cannot use algos with it, and just know that's how much time I spent on it. And it's the easiest because I already pay attention to tech stocks. I'm a tech guy. Everything I use is based around tech. I invested in tech companies that I use, Apple, Nvidia, all that. So it's very easy to understand why NQ is doing the things it's doing if I know the correlating stocks inside the index are going through something, right? So I can easily identify with it versus Dow Jones has medical stocks and stuff inside of it. So and the SPX has all of them. So, yeah, that's why. Fundamentally, I understand the concept of NQ.
What are you looking for in a chart? Like when you enter a trade, what are you looking for to first enter that trade? And then what are you looking for to get out?
So it's kind of a loaded question because different market conditions
Determine different decisions.
determine different strategies you use.
Right.
Like if I know, like, how can I break this down? Time and price are the first two things that matter when you're trading indexes, right? Time and price.
Time of the day.
Time of the day and what price is at before that time of the day. So that means that if I know I'm trading NQ, Dow Jones, or XPX, right, which is the ES, and I know that the stock exchange opens at 9:30 a.m. Eastern every day, and I know that when it opens, it usually takes out a high or a low to liquidate orders to go in the other direction and or continue, right? Because in order for the market to move, liquidity needs to be taken, activated at highs, right?
Right.
Right. People have this idea of people hunting stop loss, like banks hunt stop losses. I'm like, no, they have so much money that they can't execute immediately. They have to put orders at places in order for orders to be filled at hedge fund levels, right? And that's usually at high points or low points.
Got it.
9:30, when the floodgates open and all those orders come in from overnight, it goes in either one of those directions. And based on what it does after it hits that level, whether it closes above it, if we're looking at the high, or it wicks, it closes back underneath, will tell me if I'm going to go for a trend or it's going to reverse. That's the basis. After that, it's all confluence as to, is it going to break? Is it going to retest? Is there a gap that forms? There's different concepts that people can use for their entry models.
Got it.
But the foundation is time, 9:30 a.m. and what it does at 9:30 a.m. for like 9:30 to like 9:45. And then that would determine everything else that I'm paying attention to. Because like today was pretty sideways, right? And 9:30 was actually slow because it was already in a sideways market. And then it dumped at 10 o'clock. You know what I mean? So now I have to look at from 10 o'clock to 10:30, what's going to happen. And you have to let price take you where it wants to go. I swim with the current, never against it. Hopefully that makes sense.
100%.
Yeah.
So would you consider yourself a day trader? You trade every single day?
I mean, yeah, technically, but I don't trade every day. It's automatic, right? I only trade like I have
Robots trade every day.
Yeah, robots trade every day. I haven't, besides like right at this current moment, I'm doing a boot camp with my students and I trade live with them for 6 weeks every day for 6 weeks, teaching them how to use the systems, how to identify things. But if, outside of that, I don't trade. I haven't traded in years manually. I've been an automatic trader since the beginning.
I'm curious to know how these bots work. For example, like I'm guessing you're trading with like TD Ameritrade or something like that.
Tradeovate. Yeah.
Okay.
Tradeovate. You have Forex, you have crypto, but Tradeovate's what I trade.
Right. So the bots, is it an API that connects to this?
So it's
How does it work?
Interesting that you said that. So lately, I have this platform other than the one that's on my chest. It's called Sigma View. It means a Sigma vision. And in our industry, there's a gap of technology that happens where, you have Tradeovate, for example, and all these other platforms, and they centralize everything. And they don't allow for full customization. They don't allow for automation. If you want to automate on Tradeovate, you got to pay $50 here. You want a journal, you got to pay $50 here.
Got it.
You want systems, you got to pay this mentor this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I built this platform called Sigma View. And what it does is centralize everything. So we have a trading journal. We have ways for you to automate your trades from any platform. So that means that like any charting platform that you can create systems on, if they can communicate through webhook, like an alert system, you can automate to whatever broker you want. So Tradeovate, Forex brokers, crypto brokers, whatever, and it's centralized. And
That's crazy.
because last year in the Forex space, and it applied to like the crypto and the future space a little bit, a platform called MetaTrader stopped taking US clients. So now that left a gap in the market for algo traders like myself. And then if you want to trade futures automatically, you have to use NinjaTrader, but you can only have Windows. And you have to have a VPS. So you're paying $50 for a VPS to use a Windows system. I use Mac. So there's like a lot of holes. So I built a web application that encompasses all of that. And it fixes all problems.
Wow.
So you can automate trades to whatever broker. It's a web app, so there's no downloading anything. It works on Windows and Mac. And we also, had to sign paperwork at the CME and pay for market data and everything on my students' behalf. But basically, you can manage live P&L. So a very simple setting that people enjoy that I created is called cash exit. A lot of traders have an issue. They'll get into profitable trades, but never take profit because they just get greedy and want to run. I don't look at take profit levels. I don't have a level where it hits this, take me out. I have cash values that I like to take because I believe in the art of compounding. If I know that I can get this at minimum every day from this, even on a loser trade, if I can surgically find that number based on the behavior of what I'm trading, I will always make money. So for an example, if I enter right here, for the camera purposes, I'm gonna use the top of this mic. My stop loss is underneath the mic. Take profits at this level. Say hitting this would make me $10,000. And I back test this trade and I win 60% of the time. Which means that 60% of the time I'll make $10,000. 40% of the time I'm gonna lose 5. But I know out of this trade right here, I am guaranteed 20 points. Even if on those losing days, it goes up 20 points and reverses. Why not target the 20 points? But you can't change the take profit level to 20 points because that changes the outcome of the strategy itself. It changes how the algo would take future entries because now it's getting out at different points.
This is so interesting.
So I keep this level, but cash exit manages live P&L. So now it says when I'm floating 20 points, which in equivalent will be $200, take me out. Or $2,000 here, take me out every day. So now you can pretty much guarantee that 9.5 times out of 10, you're going to make $2,000 every day without actually hitting a take profit level. So that's what I've come up with based on just understanding what I'm trading, how it behaves, And if I know that if I find a range that price is always going to go in based on my entry criteria, you have to find the strategy that you want. Take that entry and see how price behaves every time you take that entry. What is the average price at minimum that it goes before on your losses? I'm not measuring wins. I'm measuring losses. Before it takes the L, how many points do I go into profit every time I take this specific entry? That's the number that I target.
You're very intelligent.
I try my level best.
That was really educational and eye-opening.
So, and I learned that because I licensed systems to hedge funds, smaller hedge funds. I'm not talking about like Citadel, smaller hedge funds, people like you that run capital. And they taught me, they're like, we're not looking for big winners. You know, they hedge funds don't claim 10% a month, 5% a month. They can consistent gains, because if you can see consistent gains every day versus consistent gains every month, trying to hit these big winners where I'm winning, like that example, I'm winning 60% of the time, but when I'm losing, I'm taking 5K
basically
losses.
Base hits versus home runs.
Base hits. They look for base hits because it looks better on a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
And they raise capital way faster because at the end of the day, people like dopamine.
Mm-hmm. Drip.
Because what does it look like to 10K on a Monday, 10K on a Tuesday, minus 5K on a Wednesday? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That one minus 5K, people go buck shit crazy. You can overall win for the month and they'll still be like, yo, bro, why am I taking 50% losses? You know what I'm saying? But if you're
50%
taking
win.
Yeah. But you could do 2 weeks of straight 2K days, and then one time you take a 5K loss. They now have 10 days to measure 2K with 2 days worth of losses out of that. Now you just won 80% of the time.
Right.
And
The great odds.
the odds are ridiculous. So people are seeing it that, and when you taught me that, I was like, got it. So that's when I started coming up with a system where I managed the average loss instead of the average win, and then started calculating how to take profit from there.
That's incredible. That really is. That blew my mind. I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And the platform allows you to copy trade as well. So it allows for account management across multiple accounts. So now you can compound that. So instead of trying to reach $1,000 on one account, you could reach $200 on 5 accounts. And that's going to be 10 times easier to reach. So you're still getting that final outcome, but now you're growing multiple accounts with a smaller risk.
Wow.
So now you're just breaking it down fractionally with less risk to the user, but teaching them how to compound over time to take even unprofitable traders to overall profitability.
That's mind-blowing.
I said a lot of words, didn't I?
That was really good.
Yeah. Thank you.
So like I don't have much experience with trading at all. Back in 2017, during the first big Bitcoin run, I bought a course on candlesticks and learned it a little bit. You know, got familiar with it. Right? I can. It's not something that I look at and find it strange, right? But I still have no clue what the fuck I'm doing. So you talking right now was really, really like eye-opening.
Yeah. I mean, trading is very dynamic. Trading has a lot of information, but it's not hard.
No.
It's not. Like, to learn how to trade will take you a month. If you really dedicate a couple hours to it every day, it will take you a month. It's not hard. It's intimidating because you're like, because people use terms. I remember I was like, read candlesticks. The fuck you talking about? And then you understand that, oh, there's certain patterns it does, or when you see an area that reacts and you know what a wick is,
right?
And the body closes and there's a large wick, then you start to correlate that with, oh, that means there's buying pressure at the bottom, which means price is going to go up now. Like, it's just understanding. It's all pattern recognition, which is why I said earlier, it's about how your eyes first see data. When they first see those patterns, that's the pattern you got to pay attention to now. That's how you recognize the chart. Everyone can make money. You could flip a coin and make money every day if you have time and price and good risk management. You can flip a coin and still make money.
Wow.
How you enter the trade, your strategy, all that.
Right.
It's as long as you can wake up at a certain time and stay at the same time and identify something easy, you can essentially flip a coin if you don't know where to buy and sell, and you'll still make money long term. As long as you don't change your risk. Statistically, because that's a 50-50 chance.
Right.
So, yeah, trading is fun. It's like a puzzle.
It is a puzzle. And those that figure it out win.
Yeah.
And you clearly have.
By no means, to anyone watching this podcast, I am not no $1 million trader. I spent all my money actually building software. You know?
There'll be a payback.
Yeah, I like building problem-solving solutions. And I'm an entrepreneur at heart.
Yeah.
And I've been trading for about 5 years now. And, you know, it's my full time. I haven't had a regular job since basketball. So,
that's awesome.
You know, that's something I could be grateful for. But
what's the most you've made trading?
Monthly or a year?
Both.
Oh, in a month, close to 100 grand. In a month.
That's awesome.
In a year, like 350.
That's nice.
Yeah, a year 350.
That's awesome. Just by fucking trading a few hours a day, and you're not even doing it. The robot's doing it for you.
Yeah.
I feel like this whole idea of a robot will change the whole game. It changes the whole game because you don't have to stay monitoring or having to track. It's doing it for you.
Which is why it's important that people understand what they're buying, because there's such a bad stigma around trading robots, because you'll have high ticket companies sell you a bot that someone like me will make for that same company for like $2,000.
Right.
And they're selling it for 10 and 15 grand on a license. And I'm like, my systems are way more complicated and in depth, and I sell it to my mentorship at like $300 a month.
That's awesome.
And even today, this morning, people are making, one of my students made $4 grand this morning with that same system, right? So manually, granted, but imagine automatic. So
do you teach them first how to do it before introducing the bots?
Yes.
Is that what you do?
So because it raises a lot of questions later. So
I see.
it's like, I'll teach them. I can on my YouTube, Sigma Algo, I literally tell the strategy. I'll be like, this is the strategy. If you wanted to execute it manually, free game. What you're paying for is convenience. I have that understanding. I know most people are not going to show up, bro. I'm not threatened by people knowing the source. There's one person out there in the world that might recode what I'm pointing out publicly. But does that same person have the gumption to try to sell it? Because that's a whole other skill set to be a business owner. Right? I understand the odds of it. It's like this. I don't care.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck, because people are people, bro. So, you know, I'll put the game out, and I'm like, this is how it works. This is what this indicator is comprised of. So if you don't want to do it manually, I do offer it in this bot that would do it automatically for you. Free game, have fun. Right? And, you know, you'd be surprised how a lot, you know, you shouldn't be surprised. Many people want it done for them.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And that's it. It's convenience.
Who the fuck wants to think about it?
Exactly. And for the people that do try to take it seriously, it helps by me breaking it all down, because then they understand why it wins, they understand why it loses, and they never look at me like I sold them something bad, even when it does take losses. And I don't claim to be 100%. I take L's.
Right.
I take L's a lot, but my wins are substantial considering. So it's a balance.
How do these robots actually work? Are you having to... How does it know what to do?
X's and O's. So it's just like, again, once you have a strategy, you have conditions. Oh, when price does this, I look for this, and once it does this, I do that. This is the risk based on it. So it's like you just create those conditions, and when the price meets those conditions, the trade will go.
Got it.
Right? So every strategy has its own conditions, confluences. And now you just make it where it's automatic.
So you're teaching the robot, okay, it can do X, Y, and Z. And if it does X, you do this. If it does Z, you do this. If it does Y, you do this.
There you go.
Got it.
Right? And the further step from that is autonomous learning, which is what this is, Trade Devi. Ever watched the show Billions?
Yes.
I made an AI company from every character of that show.
You made an AI company
Yes.
off of every character in that show.
So I made an AI hedge fund. So there's a
Give me
difference
more,
between-
please.
So Axe Capital, as you know,
Yep.
right? For those that never watched the show, watching this podcast, Billions is about a hedge fund owner, Bobby Axelrod,
Yep.
right? He owns his hedge fund, and he's like a smart, snarky, you know what I'm saying?
Cocky ass motherfucker.
Love it. Now, he's the CIO, and he has his trading floor. He has his COO, Wags. He has Wendy, which is a trader psychologist. So when, ChatGPT started blowing up, and I saw that they came out with agents that can autonomously make decisions.
Yes.
The difference between a bot and an AI agent is a bot, X's and O's, conditions only. If it does this, do this. If it does, AI agents are up to subjectivity. They can make decisions based on information. So what is a hedge fund? Right? So I made 12 agents out of every character in that show. We have an axe, and copyright reasons, obviously, I changed some of the names, but like Devin is the CEO. You have Wags. You have Wendy, which is a trader psychologist. Ben Kim that does crypto. I have Carter Hayes that does technicals. I have Sigma that does automation. I have Wolf that does sports betting. So I have a hedge fund of AI agents that I give substantial amount of information to, and I train and prompt to do certain things, and they can collaborate with each other to make decisions. And each of them specialize in different facets of trading. So Devin, just like Axe, would delegate to the rest of his trading floor. If you ask him, hey, give me something on crypto, he would be like, okay, Ben Kim, give an analysis on Bitcoin, and we're building platforms and stuff so we can also execute on your behalf and manage portfolios. Yeah, so I've been building that project for the past year and a half, currently raising, and we just beta launched in November. We were hoping to do 1,000 users by January. We hit 1,000 users in 2 weeks.
Wow, I can see why.
Yeah, so it's a Web3 project. It will have
On the blockchain.
It will have its own coin and everything, his own financial ecosystem to run it. And
That's crazy. What are you using to build the AI agents?
what do you mean by that?
What software? What like I know there's different apps like N8N and Make It and things.
Oh, no. So N8 is like an autonomous toolkit where you can create automations.
Right.
You can also create, it's like Zapier.
Right.
Everything's custom framework. The tech stack, we're using Node.js, a little bit of Vanilla.js.
Got it.
But like it's a custom app.
Got
we
it.
own everything. Every piece of code is ours. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, everything is ours. And it's called TradeDevi.ai if you want to look at it later.
I sure do. I'm seriously, I'm blown away. Like, that's incredible.
Yeah.
I feel like you're living so far ahead of most people, technology-wise.
I take the compliment, but
Yeah, 100%.
I also think it's just a fact of problem solving. I only build things when I see a problem. I'm like, why not just build it? I don't like using other people's structure. Like you tell me, hey, if I ask you, how did you set up the automations for, your Instagram profile? You're like, oh yeah, I use make.com and I'm gonna look at it and I'm like, I'll use it for right now, but like, I'm pretty sure I can build that. And I have. Like I have my own automation set up because I know what it takes to make something like Make. Instagram has this open API, like you can build all that. I think my superpower is I'm a dev with a business mindset. A lot of devs are, they're like guns for hire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The mob boss don't like doing the offing. He hires the shooter.
For sure.
But what happens when the shooter wants to become the mob boss? What you don't do, he will. And I think that's how I grew up. And if I can do it, I do it.
When'd you start coding?
For real, I mean, probably around 23, but I've always dabbled in it since young. I was jailbreaking iPhones at 10 and 11 years old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was doing that since young. I was customizing phones. I was doing, cracking the PSP. You know what I'm saying? Like, no full coding thing, but like I've always shown interest in getting into that world. So I taught myself on YouTube eventually, and then I ended up just making stuff. Always been kind of dabbled in that. And then I got full blown into it when we got into trading. I was like, oh, this is a good intro where it's like people learn how to code websites to make money. I coded systems and printed money. So it's hard to tell me not to code anymore because now I'm like, I just coded for a week and made something that's making me $500 a day, $200. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just hard to.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I'm pretty blown away. I am. I'm pretty blown. Just because I used to be an IT director.
Right.
So I have an IT background, so I really understand what you're talking about and what you're saying and the world that you're living in. It's incredible.
Yeah. And, I think people need to educate themselves quickly.
Yes.
You don't have to be a dev. Just educate yourself quickly. Crypto,
Right.
AI. Because every time I have this conversation,
Things are moving.
yeah, people are like, so what do you think AI is going to be? Or, are you afraid of AI taking? Like, no. It requires context. Right? Even me building this company, Trade Devi, autonomous agents, they're autonomous once you tell them to do something.
Right.
It's like having a really well-trained dog. He can move around. He can do whatever he wants. When I tell him to sit, he sits. When I tell him to move, he moves.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
There's no AGI yet.
there's no AGI yet. Once we get there, then different conversation.
Yeah.
But AI agents, bro, you still got to type into a box.
Yeah.
In the best case scenario with Trade Devi, you can talk to them like Jarvis. You can turn on the mic and be like, hey, Devin, do this. And he'll do it. But you still have to talk to him. One way or another. You have
love
to
that.
give the command. So I think people just need to educate themselves on it because, I don't know if you have an assistant or not.
I do.
I'm pretty sure she uses ChatGPT or he uses ChatGPT.
For sure.
So how does it
sure.
take
She's on that
job?
all day.
It's a toolkit,
Yeah.
right? Like even people in my area look at trade. Some people look at what I'm building as a threat because I'm decentralizing information. You have a lot of gurus, bro, that are selling resources. And then you have I'm training this thing to understand everything that I know,
Right.
everything that my friends know, the other gurus know, and then be able to execute on your behalf. I'm like, bro, but I'm building it as a toolkit. You use this to make your job easier.
Right.
So it could either be your best friend or it could be your worst enemy, right? So if you see something, a product like me or anything else that's a threat, it's never a threat because people are still lazy. My biggest bottleneck is convincing people to continue to type in this box. Just keep it gangster. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you're a guru and I tell you, like, hey, bro, you go type in the box and people will follow suit, now it becomes your best friend. Right? So it's just about being aware and having the discernment to understand how to use it to your advantage. And people just do just fine. Especially because, we got the orange man back in office. I'm not political, but I also know when he's there, you just press buy on things, especially when it comes to crypto now. And this is a day after he just dropped his meme coin.
What do you think about that?
The good or the bad?
Both.
The good is it's never been easier to get rich. All that did was put a stamp on something you need to start learning. The bad, and I said it on my story, don't buy that coin. All you needed was a stamp of approval. He's the new Elon now. Elon was the guy you looked at to say something about crypto and just start buying everything.
Right.
Now, Trump did two things. He validated it, his wife did it, and then Cuba made it the first country to make his own meme coin and then rug pull everybody. So you brought light to a space and validated it as a real way that people would make money. The guys that have been trading meme coins since the beginning sniped that early, made tens of millions.
Yes.
Life-changing money.
Yes.
Right? And I've recently been studying meme coin for the past month. I missed out on that play. But all you did is turn degen Twitter into a place where they now feel on par with futures traders. They're validated. Stamp done. They knew that they were good. But now the president skipped over everything and said, we like meme coins. Because now it decentralizes access to money. People can create their own indexes now. I think that's what people don't understand about the power of meme coins. You have people like you and me creating our own stocks. And it's all based on brand. We know it has no utility value. We only believe in the brand. If Nike came out right now and said, you know what, we have our ticker stock, but we have our meme coin. The brand behind Nike, top 5.
Oh, yeah.
But now you can stake the Nike coin and get rewards and gift cards for shoes. You get drops. They could do so much things that they can't do with a stock.
Or Louis Vuitton and Gucci. And can you imagine that?
Right?
That'd be
Clip
crazy.
this.
Yes.
Clip this, tag me, and tag the brands because I need my PC.
I got
because
you.
they're they're afraid for no reason. Because yes, can people lose money?
Wow.
Yeah, 100%. I'm pretty sure if I taught any one of you how to trade futures right now, a regulated situation, you'll lose all your money too. But difference is you're losing your money behind something you have no idea about nor you believe in. Versus you'll lose your money towards something you believe in.
Right, because meme coins, you can feel them.
Yeah.
You connect with them.
Mm-hmm. Because you have to evaluate the community behind it, the owners, just like a regular stock.
Right.
And no one's
The
ever
intention.
said, no one's ever gone to a meme coin project that said, oh, this is legit. Let's keep it game.
Everybody knows.
I'm dropping a meme coin for this, right? It's a legit project. There's proof. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it does, and it's a utility token. But it does not mean that I won't be selling off for profits for the company or whatever the case. This is a long-term project. Believe in it as such. But, people only believe in something that is consistent.
Right. Back to the drip, drip, drip.
Yeah. So the goal that I have to accomplish as a CEO is stay consistent. So people have to believe in me in order to believe in the token. Right?
Makes sense.
Which is why you do things like this podcast. What's up?
Right.
You know what I mean? And then you post it up. You share it with people like, yo, I'm too out here for me to rug pull you. I'm way too out here. I'm way too easy to find.
Right.
You don't play with people's money like that in their livelihood. So there's a lot of integrity that has to be in place and a lot of positioning that needs to be done. But people understand anytime you put your money outside of your own wallet is always at risk. And only investing in things that you can believe in and money you can afford to lose, you'll be surprised that 9 times out of 10 you can actually win.
Have you thought about speaking?
In terms of
publicly, like on stages and things like that?
I've been asked too many times.
You should.
Appreciate that. You know, the funniest thing I'd probably say, I don't like people. I don't. Like, I in my industry, my name is Batman. I'm a ghost. I don't exist to a lot of people. This is the most I've been out. This is probably my third podcast. I like to be in my cave. And I'm forcing myself to be out more because of the whole understanding that I just broke down.
Yeah.
Right? And understanding that what I build doesn't exist. In order for people to believe in that, they got to believe in me first. Right? So I'm trying my best. And
I got to find a way to connect you with 19 Keys.
Educate me.
You know what that is? No? Give me 1 second. Food's downstairs. Thank you. 19 Keys, he is he's a thought leader.
Okay.
In the Black community.
Okay.
He's someone that picks up that mantle from Malcolm X and Martin Luther, and he's about that.
Right.
He has a very popular podcast called High Level Conversations.
Okay.
Where he talks with really intelligent people, such as yourself,
Bless.
on how to free themselves from the matrix, how to evolve, how to get paid, how to be your own weapon, right? How to learn different skills and what skills to learn about the future, AI, trading. I mean,
I would love to be on. Yeah, I would love that. That's a conversation I enjoy.
I know a friend who knows him. I'm gonna try to see if I can make that connection for you.
I appreciate it.
Because you're definitely someone who is not living in the matrix. I can tell you're definitely red-pilled in the sense that, like, you are your own person. You do what you do when you want to do it, how you want to do it in your own time.
Yeah. That's the ultimate sense of freedom.
Yeah.
Right. I don't listen to nobody. And like I said, it's like I'm grateful for growing up in the era of technology.
Yeah.
Because my mindset is, if he did it, I can do it. Maybe not by myself. Maybe I have to hire a team. I'm gonna still do it.
Right.
I don't want to have to depend on other people's things to get things done.
I'm the exact same way.
Yeah, and that's just how I've been built. I've been very self-sufficient since young. I've been living on my own since 15. So it's just kind of one of those. Yeah, so that mind shift goes towards how I got into basketball, how I got into trading, everything. Yeah.
That's crazy. And it's impressive.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Very impressive. You have it's a great combination to you, you know? You're extremely intelligent, you're approachable, you want to help and teach others. Where do you see yourself in the next 5-10 years? Where do you want to be?
In Dominican Republic.
Is that where you're from?
I'm Dominican Jamaican, yeah. Con finca and a cow named Mumu. Swear to God. You know, for me, like, I just want to chill. I like the bread is cool. I've touched enough money to have all the main things I want.
Yeah.
And, you know, and like, there's no little things I will want at this point besides a new car or a bigger house. So for that, I'd rather just fly places, live life, and quedarme tranquilo. Like, even right now, like, when I go to DR, I used to get paid to play in DR. I tell them, like, this is a vacation for me. Just open up my spot. I don't care. I'll just come play for free. I'll put on a show. And for me, one that allowed to be basketball to be fun again.
Right.
It stopped being a job. And then after that, I just started enjoying life. You know what I mean? So 5 years from now, I want to be chilling and being respected as someone that just makes cool shit.
Because I could see you being like a tech mogul.
Respectfully in the space, yeah.
Yeah, I can see it.
In the space.
Within that fintech space.
The fintech space.
Yeah, I can see it.
for web app solutions, I think I can be amongst them.
Bro, you built a software that solves a huge problem. Like, I'm surprised it didn't exist already.
I was surprised too.
You know what I mean? Like,
And the cool
I'm
thing
like,
about it only took like 3 months to build with a team of 4. And I mean, we worked long nights. There'd be times where it would be like a Thursday. I get off a call with my boot camp members at 10 a.m. And then I'll, in the same clothes, do a call next morning because I just got off a call with my partner from coding all night. Excuse me. Like,
fuck it.
yeah. So, I mean, I think, in 5 years from now, God willing, I will be where I want to be peacefully. I don't, the bread and all that gonna come. There's so many ways to make money if you understand credit, business credit.
For sure.
I already know that Sigma View is doing well. When Trade Devi finally launches, it's gonna do well. I'm not worried about that. I'm more like, I think I've gotten to the point where I'm more concerned about where my brain is gonna be at in five years. Right.
I mean, if you keep doing all the things that you're doing, it's going to be very solid.
Sanity is feeble. Very feeble. Especially in the space especially as somebody that does as much as someone like you or me. And, I don't know how much you're responsible for, but I take that you're responsible for a lot of people and a lot of things around you.
A lot.
Me too, right? And on top of that, like, for example, bro, there's people that invested their last money, even though I told them not to, into my boot camp, right? And
all in, baby.
All in, but now you want to tell me
you can't pay rent.
You can't pay rent.
Fuck.
Or that was your son's college fund or something. So indirectly, I'm now responsible for you and your son.
Right.
Right?
And they're putting all that on you. It sucks.
It does. And I think that, one, it makes you into a stronger man if you can deal with it.
Right.
But you do lose a lot of sleep, right? A lot of sleep, and because of that, that can indirectly affect the relationships you have around you, right?
Has that made you intervene? Like, for example, you see this person that's in this situation about to make a stupid trade. Would you intervene, say, no, don't do this, do X, Y, and Z instead? You know what I mean?
I don't think that happens because of that reason. I think that just happens because I'm trying to teach you.
Got it.
Right? Like, I don't think, I just think, like, either you're taking my trade or you've sent me your chart and I'm correcting you.
Got it.
Right? Like, I don't think it comes from that aspect.
Understood.
But yeah, bro, like, it's for the amount of responsibility that I've gained and I have now, and things aren't even where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's I'm proud of myself to be able to keep handling it, but that's the thing that worries me. How long can I keep handling it before I start tweaking? Everyone has that breaking point, right? And
I think at that point, though, it's just getting shit off your plate.
right,
Delegate.
and
Exactly.
stuff like that. And I'm good at delegating. Trust me. I'll be like, yo, do it, or I'll create a system that does it for me,
Or a bot. Yeah,
Trust
or
me, bro.
agent.
I don't have assistants. I have a bot that I talk to, and it will execute tasks on my behalf. Add stuff to my calendar, message people, send emails out. Like, I have a whole system that I built out. I have my own Jarvis, and
That's what you got to fucking sell.
I'm not allowed to.
Why?
Privacy issues.
What do you mean?
So it's not like if I can do it, anyone can do it, right?
Right.
You can build that on Make. You can build that on N8. But you can have it talk to your WhatsApp. But the problem is, look at what happened to TikTok. They claim privacy issues between us and China, right? But if I were to make that, you now have to, one, if I made it into an app, right? It will request permission to everything that you own. If you're connected to your WhatsApp, your Telegram, your Discord, your text messages, you give it permission to everything.
Right.
And even though you gave it to me, anything goes wrong with one person in the world, oh, it wasn't supposed to see this, or it had nothing to do with me. And for an extreme example, news leaked, but my app was on that phone. You're easily a target. Oh, because of this, my reputation has been damaged. You're putting yourself at way too much risk, right? So, and I didn't even go down that wormhole far enough to see if there's a loophole around it. I just avoided the problem because one, is not something I'm passionate about to even try to launch anyway. There was something just for me, but right. I saw enough where I was like, that's too. I'd rather deal with people's money. Money is easy. Disclaimer: invest only where you can. Oh, you good? Contract here, contract there. We straight. But privacy issues, because now you're dealing with the privacy issues of every app, plus the device, plus network, plus is too much. Way too much.
I see that you're very, very good at measuring your risk tolerance.
Had to.
You're very good at it. I noticed that you're very good.
My OG taught me that young. My surprising when I tell people this, they don't believe me, but my first mentor was Italian mafia.
Okay.
So I learned a lot of how I move. I learned a lot about the art of respect. He called it the art of respect. How to really walk into a room and assess situations. How to have conversations with people. When not to have conversations with people. When to take the L. When to make sure you win. And learned a lot of those lessons early.
That's great.
Yeah. So a lot of things I didn't want to see, but I also learned a lot of things that kept me out of a lot of trouble. Right? So he passed away like 5 years ago, God rest his soul, but yeah.
Some great lessons, huh?
Yeah. That's why I'm obsessed with mob movies and all that, because you learned a lot of lessons in there.
I do this tradition at the end of every episode where I have people grab Thor's hammer. Okay. You've seen Avengers.
About that too.
You've seen Avengers, right?
Yeah.
Of course. So you must be worthy to grab onto Thor's hammer, which is why Captain America was able to grab onto Thor's hammer. I'm going to pass this over to you. Please tell me, what does worthiness mean to you? What does value mean to you? And what would you say to someone who feels worthless and devalued?
Okay. Lighter than I thought.
You're just strong, bro.
That's a deep question. Well, take it from somebody that attempted to end his story twice, right? At a young age. Worthiness is not determined by anybody outside yourself. It's determined by how long can you stand and look in the man in the mirror and say, I like him, and the things that you don't like, and to be able to tackle those things without feeling sorry yourself in the process. Example being, you look in the mirror, oh, I'm fat. Are you going to sit there and say, damn, I wish I had better genetics, or are you going to go to the gym, right? It's very solution-oriented, and I can only speak as a man, right? Because I don't know what it is to be a female and have those same thoughts, because that's a different level of emotion.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to speak as a man contextually. We are problem solvers, and those that do not solve problems become it, whether it be for people around them or themselves.
That's fucking deep.
Right? So, another lesson that I learned about the art of intelligence is that there's 3 facets: being smart, being intelligent, being wise. Intelligent is just knowledgeable. You can read an encyclopedia and retain knowledge. Being smart is using whatever level of knowledge you have productively. Wisdom comes with age. It's a mixture of both at age. Experience. If you can identify yourself with one of those, always aim to be smart in some degree. If you're not smart, but you're intelligent, try to find some way to be smart. It's about productivity. I know everything about lifting, but you don't lift. You're not smart. Right? I know everything about creating a podcast studio, but you're not making money from setting it up for people. You're not smart, right? So that's another way where you can find your worth and solve some problems for yourself. And what was the other thing you were talking about?
You're pretty much covered it.
Pretty much covered it?
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's
What
like,
would you tell someone?
I would tell someone exactly that. It's like, you know, if I was talking to my son, live life to be respected, not liked. Being liked means nothing. You can hate me, but if you respect what I'm able to do, I will always have use for you. As a lot of people in this world I don't like, bro. And they will openly say they do not like me, but we do good business. And they don't fuck around because they know I'm about it as well.
Right.
I'm about violence. I'm about peace. You know what happens when you cross this line. For example, when I have conversations with people, I know that I'm clear, right? I would never get mad at you for something you don't know. If you were unaware and you made a mistake in front of me, I'll be upset at the mistake, but I'm not going to stay mad at you. You knew no better. Once I tell you and I go, do you understand? And you say yes, and then proceed with the action, I have no reason to not talk to you. I'm going to punch you.
Right.
And that's done. And then if you have the audacity to ask me why I punched you, I'm like, because you know what you did.
You get punched again.
You know what I'm saying? So live life to be respected, not liked, because it commands a different level of aura around you.
Yeah.
Not personally. People are going to move different around you. If you stop caring about people liking you and focus on being respected, being respected trickles into a whole different level of characteristics you're going to have to start developing.
Yes.
People don't respect the fat. They don't respect, some people are big-boned. My cousin, he's a 300-pound whatever, but he works out. Almost went to the NFL, right? Can flip a trailer on his side. Healthy man.
Probably run fast too.
There's a difference between obese and like,
Right.
Some people are just born, like they just have that.
Right. I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? So, but it's one of those like your actions speak louder than words and command your respect and everything else will follow. I think that sums up my whole lesson there. Yeah. Love
that. One last question for you. Might be a loaded one, but what is your relationship with God?
It's a work in progress. Not to say I don't believe in God, not to say I don't pray. I do. I'll say this, right? I don't have a good relationship with my mother. I haven't spoken to her in 10 years. And the reason is, besides many things, is she was a heavy Christian, but used it in the wrong ways.
Got it.
She was the wrong religious type. She used it as a weapon. And it took years after to get over that, where I reached out, to the same pastors I grew up with and started to actually, I've been baptized and everything, try to have that honest relationship with it, because I also understand that religion and spirituality are two different things.
Yes.
The concept of God is one thing and how you relate to is another, which is why when you go to different churches, different scriptures, they're taught differently because it's based on the pastor's experience.
Yes.
So you have to have your own experience with the book. So I don't think I'm qualified to have that answer full because I'm still learning. But what I do know, it's a learning progress. And you have to be able to identify the stories to your own identity for it to make sense to you. And having your own relationship with God, I think is just another word of strong hope. Because people attach themselves to things that they can't necessarily touch, which is the idea of hope, right? And if they can't talk to their friends or family about a situation, but they can talk to God, right? It sounds atheistic when I say that, being an atheist, when they go, but it's like, it's a safe place for a lot of people. And for me, as growing up as self-reliant as I've always been able to just have that conversation with myself. So forcing myself to have that conversation with something I can't justify in my brain.
Right.
I'm not an atheist, but I'm also someone that I need to see something tangible.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what I battle with. But I still pray, right? I work on it. It's a work in progress, and it's just one of those, you have to build a relationship with it just like anything else.
Great answer. I love that because that's life. It's a work in progress.
Right.
You know, and we're all here just ticking away a day at a time.
Yeah.
So good for you for ticking away.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Can I have this?
No. I'm
having a lot of fun on
this. But I can send you a link of where to get one.
I'm definitely going to put like weights inside of mine and tell people, lift it. Are you worthy? And train myself how to do it myself every day.
Look at that camera. Tell the people your IG, your website, your software, your coaching program, whatever you want to share.
Dallion King on Instagram, DALLIONKING. I have a lot of fake profiles. It's the one with the check mark. Sigma View for the trade automation, and that's like all my bots and stuff is sigmavue.io. And tradedevi.ai is what you see on my shirt, is the AI hedge fund and Web3 project. Yeah, you can holler at me, talk to me there. If you have any questions, let me know. If you want to join the Discord, this link's in my bio on my Instagram as well. And same thing on YouTube, same thing on, all platforms. Yeah.
You like Discord?
I like Discord because it keeps things organized. And they allow for good customizability to organize and create your own bots and all that other stuff. Because, no surprise, I built my own Discord. Like, I built my own software for it.
No surprise.
But it's that became counterintuitive because it's hard to grow on there because you're just adding another thing to people to have.
Right.
Right. So I was like, scratch it. Let's just try to figure out how to make everything work on Discord. So I like Discord a lot. Good for community building. So if you plan on building one, I would suggest Discord.
Cool. Thank you, Dallion. This was an incredible, incredible conversation. I really can't wait to watch this episode like 5-6 years from now and see where you are and see your journey.
Yeah.
Your
I'm going to send you a picture of my finca with my cow. I'm just like, I see me, like this.
Please do.
I'm going to be chilling, bro.
With your Thor's hammer.
Exactly. I need one.
I'll send you a link. I got you.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you, bro. Thanks for being on.
That's
Guys, go follow Dallion. If you want to learn to trade, go join his community. I'm going to put all the links down below. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and we'll see you guys next time.